Hi everyone, Peter here from Flow High Performance, and in this video we will be covering the different methods that hypertrophy training can be progressed from week to week. Before we can apply progression methods to a program, we first need to have a basic program structure. This program will form the structure that will stay consistent throughout each week. Let's use a basic 4-day per week training program that looks like this. On days 1 and 3, the quads, chest and triceps are trained, and on days 2 and 4, the back, biceps and hamstrings are trained. The exercises are the same on each day, although the order of exercises changes between sessions to emphasize the lower or upper body more. Using this structure, we will now explore how training can be progressed from week to week. Let's now explore how hypertrophy training can be progressed. There are 3 primary progression models that we will explore in this video. These are by increasing reps performed for each exercise, increasing weekly volume, or increasing the proximity to failure. We'll now cover these 3 methods in detail. Increasing the number of reps performed each week is the simplest way to progress hypertrophy training. This is simply achieved by keeping the number of sets and load the same from week to week, while more reps are performed over the multiple sets done for that exercise. This doesn't mean that the trainee must perform more reps on every single set for every single exercise compared to the previous week. It simply means that the total number of reps performed overall for a given exercise is greater than the previous week. For example, here is a 3-week progression for day 1 of our example program structure. Let's say that 3 sets are used for each exercise, with some example loads prescribed. Let's say the trainee performs each set to a close proximity to failure for each exercise and records how many reps were performed. Here we can see how many reps were performed over the week. In the following week, the trainee should attempt to perform more reps in total using the same load and number of sets. For example, let's say the trainee performs the following reps for each exercise. As we can see here, the reps have increased in total by around 1 to 3 reps on average. Not every single set of each exercise has progressed in reps, although the total number of reps has increased for each exercise. And here is an example of how the 3rd week may look using the same progression model. Once again, more reps have been performed than the previous week using the same number of sets and the same load. The second method of progressing hypertrophy training from week to week is to increase the total volume per muscle group. This can be achieved by increasing the number of sets per muscle group by 1 to 2 each week. This obviously cannot be progressed infinitely, so this can be cycled through the mesocycle. By increasing the volume performed per week, the total amount of stimulus that each muscle group receives will increase and should lead to hypertrophy adaptations. For example, here is a 4-week mesocycle for our example program structure using volume increases as a form of progression. The first mesocycle uses the back muscle group as an example for this progression. As we can see here, the back is trained twice per week with a total of 14 sets over the week. This can progress over a 4-week mesocycle by increasing the volume by 2 sets each week. This may be programmed in the following way. The second week uses a total of 16 sets by adding 1 set of back training to each session. The 3rd week uses 18 sets, and the 4th week uses 20 sets for the back. This can then be repeated once again in the next mesocycle. All muscle groups can also be progressed in a similar way over the mesocycle. And the last method of week-to-week progression that we can implement for hypertrophy training is to increase the proximity to failure. This is really just another way of increasing reps performed per week, although it does so in a more systematic manner. Proximity to failure is usually prescribed using the RPE or the reps in reserve scale. These scales allow the trainees to quantify how close a set is taken to failure, using a number system. Trainees can train closer and closer to failure each week, which should naturally allow them to perform more reps per set and achieve a greater hypertrophic stimulus. For example, here is a 4-week mesocycle using our example program structure. Let's keep all sets constant for this example, using 3 sets per exercise. As we can see here, the first week uses an RIR of 4 for compound lifts and 3 for isolation lifts. This means that each set should be taken to 3 to 4 reps before failure. In week 2, an RIR of 3 is prescribed for compound lifts and 2 for isolation lifts. In week 3 and 4, the reps in reserve reduce once again, until each exercise uses a 0 to 1 RIR. This will allow more reps to be performed over time for each exercise. For example, the bench press on day 1 may practically look like this. In the first week, the trainee performs 8 reps in the first set, 7 reps in the second set, and 6 reps in the third set, using a load of 80 kilos. In the second week, the same load is used, but the RIR has reduced, meaning that each set is taken slightly closer to failure. The trainee may have performed 9 reps on the first set, 8 reps on the second set, and 6 reps on the third. And in the final 2 weeks of the mesocycle, the trainee may have performed more reps on each set once again, since the RIR has reduced further. This progression scheme can then be repeated in the next mesocycle. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you got something out of this video. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already.